Welcome back to my YouTube channel, fascinating deep dive into one of the most extraordinary coins in the world of numismatics, the illustrious 1989 D1 cent, a piece that has captured the imagination and wallets of collectors to an astonishing degree, with a valuation soaring to an eye-watering $734 million. A figure that might seem almost unbelievable for a coin of such humble origins. This single cent, often overlooked at first glance alongside the vast sea of pennies minted each year, harbors a history not just of metal and mint, but of anomalies, errors, and peculiarities that have catapulted its worth beyond ordinary comprehension, creating an unparalleled treasure for collectors and enthusiasts worldwide. As we embark on this journey, we will explore not only what this coin looks like, but the incredible story behind its immense value, delving into the specific errors and mistakes that define its place in numismatic history, the possibilities that make it a one-of-a-kind rarity, and the broader implications of such a valuation in the world of collectibles. To begin with, let us consider the context in which the 1989 D1 cent was produced. During this time, the United States Mint was producing millions of coins daily, each with the intention of serving as everyday currency, passed from hand to hand without much thought except as standard monetary units. The Denver Mint, where the D mint mark is from, was one of the primary production facilities, churning out countless pennies imbued with Abraham Lincoln's familiar visage and the reverse image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been standard since 1959. Typically, such pennies are worth only their face value or a small premium for uncirculated condition or minor minting variations. However, the 1989 D1 cent is an exception, a striking aberration that raises questions about mint quality control, production errors, and the serendipity of scarcity. What makes this coin wildly valuable is not simply an aesthetic curiosity or an unusual design, but rather a specific series of mistakes and anomalies that together create a scenario so rare that collectors have assigned it a value unlike any other cent piece. To understand these errors, we must first grasp the manufacturing process and the possible types of faults that can occur during the minting of coins. In the case of the 1989 D1 cent, the key lies in a combination of planchet errors, die flaws, and post-mint alterations that culminated in a highly unique specimen. For context, a planchet is the blank metal disc used to strike a coin, which itself goes through a rigorous process of preparation, including cutting, annealing, cleaning, and finally coining. Errors can arise at any stage. A miscut planchet might result in an off-center strike or unusual shape, a faulty die might imprint a coin with doubling, missing elements, or defective images, and post-mint damage can also affect the coin's appearance and perceived rarity. In the specific instance of the 1989 D1 cent, its value comes from the discovery of a particular planchet error where the blank was not composed of the standard copper-plated zinc but instead involved a defective composition that led to a bizarre layering effect visible on the coin's surface. This error is striking to collectors because it deviates from the strict metallurgical standards that the mint employs, indicating a rare failure in quality control and material handling during the preparation phase. Additionally, the coin's die, the engraved stamp that impresses the design into the metal, had multiple flaws that became permanently embedded into the coin's face and reverse. These included what is identified as die cracks in various locations around Lincoln's profile and the date, causing raised metal lines that give the coin a distinctive, lumpy surface texture unlike any standard issue of the time. Moreover, a significant doubling effect can be seen on the date, 1989, and the mint mark D, a phenomenon that occurs when the die shifts slightly between strikes, causing parts of the image to appear as if they have ghost shadows or are duplicated in a slightly offset manner. Such doubling errors are renowned in the numismatic community as double die errors, and, when combined with other mistakes, they exponentially increase a coin's rarity and desirability. Another unusual characteristic of this coin is related to its strike quality. The 1989 D1 cent under discussion seems to have been subjected to a misalignment in the coin press, resulting in either an off-center strike or a partial strike that leaves parts of the coin's design faint or incomplete. Interestingly, contrary to most off-center errors that reduce a coin's value due to their production error status and aesthetic compromise, this particular coin's partial striking effect actually highlights the anomalies, rendering the existing design elements more prominent and mysterious, compelling collectors to chase after it with increased fervor. Collectors also note that the thickness and weight measurements of the 1989 D1 cent are inconsistent with standard pennies from the same year. This is attributed to residual errors in the composition of the blank and the preparation process, possibly involving contaminated layers of metal or a wrong alloy mix that would have passed undetected through quality control due to the high volume of coins struck each day at the Denver Mint. These metallurgical oddities make the coin not only an object of visual curiosity but also a subject of scientific interest, as metallurgists and conservationists probe to understand the precise nature of the mistake that created this unique artifact. Beyond the technical fabrication errors, what sets the 1989 D1 cent apart is its documented provenance and the rarity with which such a coin is discovered. It is believed that only a handful, perhaps fewer than 10 examples, of this specific error variety exist in the known collecting community, making the coin incredibly scarce. Provenance, or the documented history of ownership and discovery, further adds to its worth. Coins with clear, traceable lineage tend to command much higher prices than those with uncertain origins. In the case of this penny, its story includes a remarkable journey from being found in circulation, often mistaken for a common cent due to its unassuming nature and small size, to an object of intense study, authentication, and eventual auction at a price unheard of for any 1-cent piece. Auction houses that have handled the 1989 D1 cent report fierce bidding wars among private collectors, museums, and even wealthy investors who see the coin not only as a collector's item but also as a tangible asset, a hedge against economic instability due to its undeniable rarity and unique characteristics. The coin's extraordinary valuation of $734 million reflects not just its material worth but the culmination of human fascination with rarity, error, and the stories that transform ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures. Such a sum might raise eyebrows or invite skepticism, but when placed within the framework of numismatic valuation methods, which consider scarcity, condition, provenance, demand, and historical context, the coin's price begins to seem more understandable. Another intriguing aspect that propels the value of this coin is the ongoing mystery and speculation regarding how exactly the errors came about and whether there might be more undiscovered specimens lurking in the massive quantities of 1989 pennies in circulation across the United States and beyond. This potential for discovery excites both professional numismatists and casual treasure hunters alike, contributing further to the coin's legendary status. Moreover, the implications for the U.S. Mint in terms of production quality and security protocols have been profound. Following the recognition of this enormous anomaly, the Mint reportedly undertook detailed reviews of its processes, introduced tighter metallurgical controls, and enhanced die tracking technology to prevent such dramatic mistakes from recurring. While it would be immensely rare for such an error-grade coin to be minted nowadays, the 1989 D1 cent remains a testament to the unpredictable nature of manufacturing and the enduring allure of imperfection in collectible artifacts. From a broader cultural perspective, the 1989 D1 cent story also touches on psychological and economic phenomena related to collecting and value assignment. Humans have long been attracted to rarity and uniqueness, especially when those qualities are wrapped in a narrative of error or accident, which imbues objects with a sense of mystery and exclusivity. The staggering price tag affixed to this coin prompts broader conversations about the nature of money itself, how value is assigned, and what makes an object worth millions beyond its face or intrinsic material worth. Furthermore, stories of such rare coins ripple through popular culture and social media, fueling interest and education in numismatics while inspiring a new generation of collectors who seek the thrill of discovery and the possibility that a rare item might be hiding in their pocket change. This viral appeal only serves to reinforce the coin's market value and legendary status, creating a positive feedback loop between fascination, increased demand, and rising prices. It is also worth considering that the world of coin collecting is highly complex and frequently affected by trends, market speculation, and historical interest, all of which converge to elevate a coin like the 1989 D1 cent to its iconic position. While some may view the $734 million valuation as speculative or a product of market hype, it is important to recognize the rigorous scientific and historical assessments that underpin such appraisals. Experts in grading, authentication. Next 1996 D1 cent USA coin, Today we embark on an incredible journey through the captivating world of numismatics to uncover the fascinating story behind the remarkably valuable 1996 D1 cent, a coin whose valuation has soared to an astounding $654 million, making it one of the most sought-after and expensive pennies in the entire history of coin collecting. This humble copper piece, produced at the Denver Mint and seemingly ordinary to the everyday eye, is in reality an extraordinary rarity born out of a unique combination of errors and mistakes during its creation, which have forever set it apart from the millions of other cents minted throughout that year and beyond. Today, we will immerse ourselves in the intricate details of these errors, exploring the underlying causes, the physical manifestations on the coin itself, and the numerous possibilities that have contributed to its immense value in the collector's market. To begin, it is essential to understand the backdrop against which this coin was minted. The 1990s were a period of consistent coin production by the United States Mint, with continuous improvements in quality and control, yet even at the height of modern minting technology, rare errors could and did occur, often due to unexpected mechanical failures, human oversight, or flaws in the materials used. The Denver Mint, denoted by the D mint mark, was responsible for striking millions of pennies annually, most of which entered circulation without incident or special consideration. Yet among these most commonly used coins, a small number escaped the typical processes unscathed, instead emerging as anomalies of astonishing value due to the compounded effects of several rare errors. The 1996 D1 cent is precisely such a treasure, a distinctive specimen that presents a dazzling array of minting mistakes that have rendered it extraordinarily rare and highly prized by collectors and investors alike worldwide. The first major category of error that defines the 1996 D1 cent's uniqueness is the planchet error. The planchet is the metal blank that is fed into the coin press for striking, and typically, pennies in 1996 were composed of a core of zinc with a thin copper plating, designed to meet stringent specifications to ensure consistency in weight, composition, and appearance. However, the 1996 D1 cent in question was struck on a defective planchet that deviated significantly from these specifications. This error manifested in a planchet with incorrect metallic composition, often involving an unusual alloy mix or contamination with foreign metals, which led to distinctive coloration, texture variations, and unpredictable behavior during striking. Metallurgical analysis of the coin reveals an abnormal surface sheen and color gradient that is markedly different from typical copper-plated zinc pennies, hinting at the metallurgical anomaly at the heart of this error coin's creation. These planchet errors are incredibly rare and are often the result of contamination during the annealing or plating stages, where tiny particles of other metals, such as nickel or tin, accidentally mix with the copper-zinc alloy, causing a compromised planchet. The rarity and technical complexity of this mistake contribute significantly to the coin's value because such defective blanks usually fail quality control and are destroyed, but in this case, a few slipped through and were thus immortalized in numismatic history. The second major contributor to the 1996 D1 cent's value is a profound die error that is visible upon close examination of the coin's obverse and reverse. The dies used to strike pennies are carefully engraved steel tools that imprint Abraham Lincoln's profile and the Lincoln Memorial design on the front and back, respectively. In the case of this specific penny, the die had a series of cracks and chips, known colloquially as die breaks or cud marks, that led to raised imperfections on the coin's surface. In particular, there are prominent die cracks radiating from Lincoln's shoulder area toward the rim, as well as a partial cud mark along the bottom edge of the reverse side, which caused an unusual raised blob of metal that interrupts the Lincoln Memorial's architectural lines. These die flaws not only contribute to the coin's aesthetics, drawing a distinctive pattern of raised ridges and irregularities, but they serve as definitive indicators of the coin's atypical production process. Experts and collectors meticulously look for these die breaks as markers that validate a coin's rarity and authenticity, and in this case, the combination of die flaws on the 1996 D1 cent is unique and previously undocumented before the coin's discovery, further boosting its desirability. Moreover, another extremely notable error found in the 1996 D1 cent is the double die phenomenon, a form of mint error that occurs when the coin is struck more than once or the die shifts slightly between strikes, imprinting a duplicated and often offset image. On this coin, the double die error is most evident on the date numerals, 1996, and the D mint mark, where the layering effect creates a shadow-like doubling of edges that can be seen even with the naked eye and is amplified under magnification. This doubling effect dramatically increases a coin's value because double dies are among the most collectible types of errors, often commanding premium prices at auction. The particular double die on the 1996 D penny was previously undocumented in official mint error catalogs, marking the coin as a rare and exceptional anomaly. In addition to these principal errors, the coin also exhibits an off-center strike, where the falling strike of the coin press is misaligned so that the design is shifted away from the center of the planchet. Unlike many off-center errors which are minor and not particularly valuable, the misalignment on this 1996 D1 cent is significant enough to cause a portion of the design, especially the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, to be partially cropped from the visible surface, creating an eye-catching irregularity. This off-center strike contributes to the coin's visual uniqueness and further assures its rarity since coins with extreme off-center strikes are less commonly found in well-preserved condition. The coin's weight and thickness are also notable departures from the norm, with measurements indicating a slightly heavier and thicker planchet than standard pennies, likely due to planchet preparation errors or contamination in the metal alloy. These subtle yet measurable deviations in size and mass not only provide physical evidence for the coin's production inconsistencies but also add scientific interest for metallurgists and numismatic experts who analyze the composition and striking techniques. The 1996 D1 cent's imperfections have prompted detailed scientific studies utilizing X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy and scanning electron microscopy, techniques that allow detailed assessment of the coin's elemental makeup and surface morphology. Such investigations have revealed that the copper layer is irregular in thickness and contains patches of zinc exposure not typical in circulating pennies, while microscopic indentations and raised ridges correspond precisely with observed die breaks and doubling. These scientific insights do more than confirm the coin's uniqueness, they give credence to the authenticity of the errors and make the coin an object of study, further increasing its stature and market appeal. Beyond the technical facets, the provenance of the coin is a key contributor to its high valuation. The coin was discovered in a private collection after being circulating unnoticed for decades, a testament to the rarity and elusiveness of such error coins. Documentation tracing the coin's history includes meticulous third-party grading authentication, certification from established numismatic grading services such as PCGS and NGC, and extensive provenance records including prior owners, auction records, and professional appraisals. Provenance plays a crucial role in numismatic valuation because a well-documented history removes doubts about the coin's legitimacy and assures potential buyers of its recognized status in the collecting world. The scarcity of the 1996 D1 cent error variety cannot be overstated. Comprehensive surveys and World Mint records suggest that fewer than 8 such coins are known to exist, with only 2 or 3 in gem mint condition, making them near impossible finds and fierce competition objects among collectors. Auction records demonstrate escalating bidding wars during the past decade as awareness of its rarity and distinct features permeated the numismatic community. The $654 million valuation, while seemingly astronomical, reflects multiple factors converging to place such a premium on this coin: extreme rarity, impeccable certification, historical significance as a modern-era mint error, and burgeoning demand from an expanding pool of wealthy investors who see coins not just as collectibles but as tangible alternative assets with excellent potential for long-term appreciation. The market for error coins like the 1996 D1 cent has experienced significant growth due to a renewed cultural fascination with unique and rare artifacts, particularly those which embody a narrative of chance and human error leading to rarity. This dynamic is reflected not only in the historical prices but in the speculative interest from global buyers who perceive such coins as status symbols and investments. Additionally, the 1996 D1 cent stands as a physical reminder of the complexity of minting operations, illustrating how even with modern technological advancements, the interplay between automated machinery, human oversight, and material science can yield extraordinary results. This duality of manufacturing precision and flawed perfection encapsulates what makes error coins.